Hi, great to have your company. Thanks for joining us wherever you might be watching around Australia as we welcome you to this week's episode of Rugby League Summertime, proudly supported by Warrenora Plumbing Services. And in fairly damp conditions, we welcome you to Sydney's Parramatta Stadium for an Eels training session. In the next half hour, we'll take you behind the scenes here, both on the field and in the gym. And coming up on today's program, I'll chat with head coach Michael Hagan, also representative back rower Nathan Hindmarsh. Eric Groth joins us on today's episode of Rugby League Summertime. Chris Inu, also Nathan Kalis and Jared Hayne. Well, Chris Inu is certainly one of the game's brightest young stars. Bursting onto the scene in 2007, the youngster enjoyed a marvellous season in the top grade. And of course, Eels fans recently buoyed by the fact that Inu signed a new multi-year deal here at Parramatta. Kristen Inu couldn't have been more impressive last season. Demonstrating remarkable athleticism, the 98-kilogram Cabramatta junior established himself as one of the NRL's most exciting prospects. A fact recognised by the Eels hierarchy, who moved swiftly to upgrade his contract.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of a talk in town. Everyone asking me whether I was signing, staying or not. So I'm glad it's over before the season started.
Now that you've had a number of games under your belt, do you approach this year with more confidence than may have been the case last year?
Yeah, a little bit more confidence, but more awareness, knowing what's to come and what I have to do to prepare myself and play a better game this year. Knowing what the level of the game's at, and knowing it's going to be a bit faster than last year. So all the new rules coming in. So,
what was the toughest thing about year one?
Pretty much just the speed. It was just a lot quicker than I thought. That was about it. Other than that, nothing much.
You talk about the changes that are imminent in the game, and you talked about the speed due to some of the changes in rules. Just take us through your thoughts on those rule changes and things such as the change in limited interchange as well.
I think that's going to impact a lot, mainly the forwards. I think it's going to be harder for the forwards. They've got a lot more work to do, less interchanges, and also a new rule for the quick 20 tap. I think without that little 5-second break, it's going to be heaps quicker, knowing that you're going to get the ball as fast as you can to the 20 tap and run. Don't worry about the ref.
Inu, like every other player donning the blue and gold this season, firmly believes that the Eels are a genuine premiership threat. And he says the current level of camaraderie between players is the club's greatest asset.
The togetherness we have, I think, if we stick together mainly through the bond that we have now, I think no one can break us. But it's a new year, new start. I think we've got a lot of work to do to get to where we want to be, and I think that's what we've been doing so far, just training hard and doing all the little things right.
The side certainly did enough last year to give you something substantial to build on.
Yeah, I think hopefully we can build on what we finished off with last year. We can start off the year pretty good, and that's one of our main goals, to finish off where we started, and hopefully we can get away with those extra 2 games at the end of the year. As
an athlete playing in the blue and gold, have you noticed a major change in the way pre-season the strategy has been this year?
Yeah, I think not mainly changes, but I can see everyone's having a bit more fun this year, and everyone's faster, stronger, fitter, and it's looking good, and hopefully we can take it out on the field.
Last question, understandably so, because of your on-field exploits, you command a fair bit of media attention. As a young bloke aged 20, how do you cope with all the extra demands in the game?
Just try not to worry too much about it. If it's there, I do my job, do my part, but I try not to worry too much about it and think a lot more about footy.
Thanks for your time, Chris.
Thank you.
In 6 weeks' time, Parramatta captain Nathan Kalis turns 30 and hence enters the Codes Veteran Club. After representing New Zealand in more than 30 test matches, the 106-kilogram Wentworthville junior has certainly earned a reputation as one of the NRL's most consistent front-row forwards. Kalis has been working hard to overcome a pec injury during the off-season, and he's pleased with the progress made thus far.
Yeah, it's been good. I'm going to see the doctor this week. Hopefully he'll give me a final clearance, but I've been doing full contact since Christmas. The physio here is pretty happy with it, and it's just a matter of getting the strength back before the season starts, so it's going pretty good.
I should imagine a pec injury from a confidence point of view might take a little bit of overcoming initially, particularly the position you play.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, in terms of defence, it's going to take a bit of work and just getting back in there and doing repetitive tackling and that sort of stuff. So I've been working pretty hard at that, but thankfully I've still got another month or so before we start playing and do a lot more work on it.
Have the medicos here at the club talked to you about potentially changing the way you go about your defence to protect it in the short term?
No, not really, because it wasn't anything to do with the muscle. It was pretty much the tendon being torn off the bone. So they just sewed the tendon back onto the bone, and it's all fine now. We've got no dramas with the muscle itself, so I was pretty lucky in that case. But yeah, the physios and doctors are very happy with how I'm going, and in terms of training, I suppose I've sort of been very cautious as to what I do, but pretty confident that I should be right to start the season.
As a senior player at the club, how would you describe this off-season?
Oh, it's been very good. Obviously we've had a couple of positives in the two young boys, Chris Inu and Jared Hayne re-signing, so it's given the club a big boost. Everyone's training very hard, as you know, I suppose every club is at the moment. It's just a matter of us getting into the season and starting off well, picking up from where we left off last year.
Kalis says the vibe at Parramatta is very upbeat, due in no small way to the confidence the players derived from their strong finish to last season.
Yeah, we finished the season well. There was probably a couple of patches there where we were a bit inconsistent. We have to really work on that this year, I think, our consistency and our attitude. You know, coming into the big games, we performed well, but it was the games that we were expected to win where we really struggled. So that's one area we've been working hard on. You know, just being consistent with our footy, and hopefully it'll serve us well in 2008.
Certainly the club is very blessed in terms of youth coming through. You've alluded to a couple of them in the shape, obviously, of Inu and Hayne. This club has never had a problem in producing junior talent, has it?
Well, I think the system has been put in place here. You know, Brian Smith obviously set up a good system. We've got a lot of good young juniors coming through. You know, there's so many good young guys coming through. It does make you feel a bit old, even though I don't look that old, but you know, the club's always going to be in a healthy state, I believe, because of the system that we have here and the amount of resources and the amount of money that the club puts into junior development. So it's an only positive for the club.
Thanks for your time, and for 35 you do look good.
Oh, please, 28. Cheers, mate.